What we are looking for in the golf swing, particularly coming in towards the downswing position, is ultimately two things. We want to be rotating this way, so progressively towards the target, as we simultaneously pull the arms down. And what this does, this gives us that ability to swing what's known as left for a right-handed golfer. So I can get the feeling of swinging across the golf ball. The benefit of doing this is all of a sudden that gives you the ability to keep that club nice and stable, okay? And that means that you're growing confidence where you can hit the golf ball harder, knowing that you're still likely to control where the ball is likely to go. So it's arms up, arms down and around, and you feel like you can control that club face. The opposite, for example, would be the type of golfer who gets the backswing rotation incorrect. They try and hit the ball from the inside, and then they have to use the hands and arms excessively to try and get the club face square. And that is the kind of golfer that will lose athleticism, and they'll also lose that club face stability. So the question is, how do you break that habit? Well, the common problem, and this happens all the time with people that I either meet that come through that door for lessons or people that I work with online, they have the same issue in the backswing, and that is where your upper body moves too much over towards your trail leg in the backswing position, like so. Now, this could be defined as moving off the ball, right? You might sort of talk about it as turning over the leg. It's what we don't want to be happening, because what we want to do, as I sort of demonstrated here, is I want to get the feeling as I start my downswing that I can turn my chest and bring the club into the slot. And if I'm in a backswing position like this, you've got no chance. You're never going to trigger enough movement at the start of the downswing to rediscover it. So we need to, first of all, prioritise the ability to not turn your upper body over your trail leg, and you need to try and focus on keeping your head still. However, it's not quite as simple as we sometimes would like to think, because what we need to do is to be able to keep the spine vertical, we need to let the pelvis move to the right. Okay, so if my pelvis moves to the right, my head can stay nice and still as I lift my arms up. If I immediately turn my pelvis around like this, what you'll notice, or what will happen as you practice this is why your head ends up moving. So a lot of students that I meet don't realise that they're moving their head, but they're not really. It's because they move like this immediately, like so. And then that makes them look like this. And that's why you have to let the pelvis move slightly towards the right-hand side in the backswing. And I know you'll be scared of swaying, but you have to be able to get that position of staying nice and vertical. And obviously, if you can get to a backswing position more like so, it's going to be way easier to rotate than if you're somebody who moves this way. So that's one of the exercises, to use the foot wedge. The foot wedge is a good way to just get that feeling of moving the pelvis into the leg in that backswing position. Another way to do it, and that's why I teamed up with Swing Buddy going into this year, is to just think about your right arm placement. So if I just take this training aid device here and I just keep my head nice and still and lift my right arm up above my head, that's a great position then where I can get my left hand to reach, and then I can swing down and throw. And even with the Swing Buddy, the thing that I love about it is because it's the length and the weight of a 7-iron, you can strike the ground. So it's up, down, across, up, down, across, up, down, across, like so. As opposed to if I'm somebody who moves this way, that club's always going to be lifting and never going to be striking down on the golf ball. So the way that you guys want to be practicing this, and this is the feedback that I get from lessons, is a couple of things. One, you're going to have to tell yourself that you're not consciously trying to turn. Okay, so you're going to tell yourself, right, I'm not doing this. It's almost going to feel more like a lift, and you'll start to feel a little bit more of a sort of tilting motion if you let that pelvis move a bit more to the right. And that's why I think arms up, arms lift, similar to what I emulated with the Swing Buddy, is a really key one. What also you're going to feel is you are going to feel a lot steeper, meaning from this position it's going to feel like you're going to come down steeper, and this is okay. All you've got to do to avoid the steepness is just learn a little bit of shallowing, but I wouldn't stress about that. Make the backswing change first, keep your head way stiller, and then that way you're going to notice the way that your ball striking will be able to improve dramatically, because you're going to be able to swing more across the ball. So work on those points. Definitely think about practicing the interaction with the trail leg, keeping the head still. Definitely think more about lifting your arms up in that backswing position, because the combination of those two movements will just open up a new world, particularly with things like ball striking, to you, because it makes rotation through the ball so much easier. So if you're somebody who inconsistent, you find the golf swing hard, or you can't turn through the golf ball, it's all the same thing. It's a backswing fault. Changing your backswing will make a massive difference. I'll see you soon.